and the vamps and the changes are ridiculous. So now I go to DeJay. DeJay is a painter. DeJay is like my Pat Metheny.
He's an abstract guy, man.
And then Logan is classic.
Logan is classic.
Logan is Bob James, George Duke. He's Joe. He's Joe Sample. Like DeJay is Jaco Pastorius.
Herbie Hancock.
He's Herbie. No, he's more Jeff Lober. He's more Pat Metheny. Spike is a songwriter. So like when I'm trying to make a record, I said, well, I want a classic song that's basically broken down the way records are broken down. Okay, I call Spike. If I want that classic Joe Sample, Bob James sound, I call Logan singing. But if I want that intergalactic spaceman shit,
out of the box
shit, I'm calling DeJay.
DeJay Ceases.
Calling VJ.
Because, so I think
you're like the painter, and you use.
Well, I'm like a coach who coaches all stars. I'm coaching Michael Jordan, like Kobe Bryant,
or like someone sitting at a table with a lot of puzzle pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but puts it together.
The puzzle pieces have to be dope.
Oh yeah, they have to be good pieces.
And that's where it all comes in. Listen, man. I look back at my favorite producer. I have two guys who I look up to, and there'd be Trevor Horn, and there'd be Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones had assembled a team that was unbeatable.
All stars.
He had Patty Austin, he had Lewis Johnson,
the best of the best.
Like he had Rod Templeton, he had Greg Phalanges. I mean, his team was crazy dope. So, listen, man, and so now, like, when you take these musicians and you put them with technology, a lot of cats who are making music today are not using music, like they're using sound, and like they're manipulating sound.
Gotcha.
Okay, but like when you put a musician with this technology, it's fucking unlimited.
It's limitless. What they can do. The
things you can do now with a musician, with a songwriter, with a cat that reads and writes music. Hey man, it's
a different time. It's a different time.
So like all these cats that are making music today, the 80s, in my opinion, was the most experimental time in music. Because you had musicians experimenting. You didn't have people who knew nothing about music. See, now today, you have people who are just buying programs and saying, let me manipulate the sound.
They're dabbling, yeah.
And what they do, because they can't play a keyboard, because they can't play a guitar, or like they can't play drums, but what they do is they manipulate sound.
Mm-hmm.
Sound is not the same thing as a musician using a software program. And that's where you get certain people who know how to make records the way they did then, but they know how to utilize the technology. Whereas like a guy who goes out and picks up a program, Fruity Loops or some shit like that. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
It goes to work.
I told my kid, I better never catch you using Fruity Loops. So
hey man, I gotta go. Yeah,
but it's got something to do with soul, though. At the end of the day,
but that has to be in you. If it's not in you, it ain't coming out.
If it's not in you,
it's not coming out.
You go out and buy a program, it's gonna sound like David Guetta. You talking about like that?
This man, 30 years of all the influence he had. I got 30 years of all the influences I had. You got 30 years of all the influences you had, and all that going into one place and being able to be translated and manipulate it and come out in a musical format. That's a scary thing to put in front of somebody that's used to hearing the same old thing.
Okay,
that's like a blitz. That's like an all-out blitz when the Pittsburgh Steelers was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And then it goes back to what I was saying.
To the ear.
I've been DJing for 30 plus years. There's no way that I'm playing the same record I was playing when I was 18.
Nothing wrong with those that want to do it.
Well, hey man,
it's up to them.
Hey, listen, art.
It's up to them.
Art is never meant to stay stagnant. It moves forward. And for all those people who don't let it move forward, you are doing the listeners a disservice. And that's how I feel about it.
A disservice.
Hey man, fuck it.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Peace out.
Spike Rebel with two of the greatest.
Well, one of them, huh?